It's time again for the Science Bowl.
Zoo parade for 5. What big teeth the hippo has are actually a pair of these. Science potpourri for 10. Would a snake most likely eat every day? Every week, Dateline Science for 10. Why are some elephants wearing necklaces these days? Green things for 15.
And now, here's your host, Mr. Z himself, Dave Zarin.
Thank you and welcome to the Science Bowl. So nice to have you here today. 2 outstanding elementary schools playing our game, ready to demonstrate their scientific literacy. Play along with us today. See how many of these questions you can get right as well. Let's go over and meet today's teams. First from Panorama Elementary School, say hello to Daniel. Daniel, and they're all wearing matching shirts over there. They look good. Zori is back. She was here last year. She's the team captain. And Camilla is here for the first time. Nice to have Camilla as well. They're playing against Thomas Stone Elementary School. Panorama is here. She's back again for a second year. She's a safety patrol. She's got her nice sash on over there. Harrison, he can't wait to start. He's a great captain over there. And Juan, first time on the show. Good to have him here as well. Here in the Science Bowl, we have 6 categories of questions. Let us tell you about them right now.
Okay, Mr. Z, here's today's categories. Green things, questions about plants and all things green and growing. Zoo parade, a Noah's Ark of questions about animals. Body systems, we'll see how much you know about yourself, about things like breathing and growing and digesting your food. Let's get physical. Questions that test your knowledge of physics and chemistry, earth science and space science. Then there's science potpourri. Here's a grab bag of science questions, everything from air pollution to the kitchen sink. And finally, Dateline Science. We'll ask you about science history and science in the news.
And here in the Science Bowl, our game board shows question difficulty. The numbers 5 and 10, easier ones on the left, 15, 20, and 25 points, the toughest question of them all in each of those categories. We start our teams out with 50 points apiece. No penalties for any incorrect answers. End of the 2 rounds, we will have a contender for Pointer Ridge, another elementary school, and the winner of that game goes on to the semifinals in this, our 39th year of competition here on the Science Bowl. Let's go over and make sure everything works properly before we start. Zori, would you try the red team buzzer? All right, she's got a good, confident push over there. Good luck to you, to Camilla, and to Daniel. Hey, Harrison, push it, would you please, for the green team? All right, he's a confident pusher as well. Good luck to you, to Philema, and to Juan. Let's get back and let's start our game. We go alphabetically P before T, so Panorama and Zori. Let's play the bowl.
Let's get physical for 15.
Physical for 15 points to start us out. Our question, kryptonite, Superman's nemesis, is not a mineral found on Earth. But krypton is a chemical element that can be found on what chart?
The periodic table.
Periodic table, absolutely, Zori. Panorama. And you just wait until we recognize you. I like your enthusiasm. You got those first points. Nicely done. Go red.
Zoo parade for 15.
Zoo for 15. Although lions and tigers don't live in the same area, a hypothetical fight between them would likely be won by what more social? Zori?
The tigers.
Not the tiger, no. Thomas Stone, the fight would most likely be won by what more social cat that is used to fighting among its peers?
Lion.
The lion, absolutely, because they all live in a group, and tigers do not. They are rather solitary creatures. Go again, or go green. Tie score, 65 all.
Okay.
All right, Harrison, what you got?
I say zoo parade for 10.
Zoo parade for 10 points. Multiple choice question. Some big words. Listen carefully. It's multiple choice. Reptiles can colonize a newly formed island because many of them can reproduce asexually in a process known as which of the following? Cleavage, cloning, or parthenogenesis. Which of those 3, Thomas Stone?
Parthenogenesis.
Parthenogenesis, absolutely right. Only needs one sex. Sometimes, you know, it's just a female and she can give birth. Go green.
Body systems for 5.
Body for 5. If you can't get a song out of your head, say Taylor Swift's Shake It Off, you're said to have a worm in your what?
Ear.
Ear is right, Panorama, Zora, yeah. An earworm. Good answer. 5 more points. Go.
Dateline Science for 5.
Dateline for 5 points. It's been discovered that the tiny monkeys, known as marmosets, use a kind of language that includes giving each member of the troop one of these, although probably not Zori or Philema or Juan. They give each one of them a what? Harrison.
Child. A baby.
A what?
A baby.
Not a baby, no. Panorama, any idea? Each of those marmosets gets one of these, although probably not Zori or Camilla or Harrison. A name. A name. They name each of the members of the troop. Maybe it was too simple. You were overthinking it. Go again, Red. Zori.
Body systems for 15.
Body for 15. It is not true that you will get the joint disease arthritis if you crack these joints too much. Thomas Stone.
Knuckles.
Your
like
knuckles,
this.
yeah. Oh, that's a terrible sound, isn't it? It's not going to give you arthritis, though. Okay, good. Green, go.
Let's get physical for 10.
Physical for 10 points. When one of these storms occurs over water, as happened recently in the sea off Italy, it's known as a water spout. Thomas Stone.
Tornado.
Tornado is right, yeah. Good answer. He looks surprised. Whoa, I got that one. You did a nice job. Good. You're at 100 points. Go. Thomas Stone.
Green things for 10.
Green for 10. In the spring, deer love to raid people's gardens and eat these B-initialed underground storage organs that lie dormant over the winter before blooming as tulips in the spring. What are they called? What do the deer eat? B-initialed. Harrison.
Pass it to her.
Philema.
Philema, yeah. Philema.
Blossoms?
Not a blossom. That's a good try. Panorama, do you know the name of those B-initialed storage organs that tulips have underground? They're called bulbs, tulip bulbs, daffodil bulbs also. Okay, no points. Let's go back to the green team. Harrison. Yes, sir.
Science potpourri for 10.
Science potpourri, 10 points. If you like to cook, and some of you like to cook, doctors are warning you not to burn yourselves if you're using melted sugar, like to dip candy in, because melted sugar has a temperature of 350 degrees, while boiling water has a much lower boiling temperature at this number of degrees. Panorama.
100.
Not 100. Good. Give me more information.
100 degrees Celsius.
All right, we'll take that. Yeah, equivalent to 212 Fahrenheit. Nicely done. All right. The buzzer is rung. We've come to the end of the first round, and our score is Panorama 80, Thomas Stone 100. We are at a close game. We'll have more questions, and we'll talk to our teams in just a moment. Don't go away. And welcome back to Science Bowl. Hope you're having a good time at home. We're having a good time here in the studio. 6 outstanding young people here playing this game, and most of them, or at least half of them, for the very first time. Let's find out about our players before we ask any more questions, some personal ones maybe. Let's go to Zori at Panorama. Zori, tell us about Panorama. Who's your principal there?
Dr. Frazier?
Absolutely. And did you have a coach that was with you today?
Yes. Miss S. Casinas?
Wonderful, and I know they're proud of you. And I know you've got a couple alternates there. Can you mention their first names?
Brandon and Darius.
And they'll be out in just a few moments. We'll give them some FaceTime. Tell me how you all prepared to be here on Science Bowl.
We read some books and we studied past Science Bowl questions and we watched some past videos on Science Bowl.
You did all the right things. Tell me something about Panorama that you're really proud of, that when you tell people I go to Panorama, what do you brag about?
Sometimes brag about the clubs they have because they have lots and lots of clubs.
Yeah, I know you have great teachers there too, and you have a great view, hence the name Panorama. You can see DC from a different vantage point there. What do you want to do someday, Zori?
I want to be a teacher and one day go to France.
Wow. Yeah, you have the demeanor and the patience of a teacher, I can tell already. And why Paris? Why are you intrigued by Paris, France?
I don't know. I've just been intrigued by it as a kid and it just followed me.
They call it the City of Lights, and the Eiffel Tower and so many things there. Everyone knows what they are. Nice to have you here today. Camilla, tell us about yourself. What do you do in your spare time?
I play games with my friends and my baby niece. And sometimes I play with my dog when he wants to. And sometimes I make bracelets to sell to
you were
other
telling me
people.
about your bracelets. What kind of bracelets do you make?
I made like bead bracelets
Yeah. Do you give them as gifts to people?
sometimes.
Yeah, I bet they appreciate them. What do you want to do someday? Have you thought about that?
I want to be an inventor.
An inventor. Sounds like you're already started on the right route there. You know, playing a good game here today. Daniel, you like games. This young man wants to play football in Honduras someday, right? Yeah?
My hometown.
Your hometown. They'd be lucky to get you. When you're not playing sports, what do you do?
So when I don't do sports, I usually study or watch TV.
And do you have any favorite television shows?
SpongeBob and Science Bowl.
Give that man an extra 50 points. Nice answer. Nice answer. Absolutely. SpongeBob is one of my favorites, with Squidward and all the other characters there. Nice to have you on the show here. Let's go over and talk to Thomas Stone. Harrison, tell us about Thomas Stone. Who's your principal?
Mr. Hentz.
Absolutely. And he's a big backer of Science Bowl. I know that.
Yeah.
And your coach is here too, isn't he?
Yeah, Mr. Ford.
Mr. Ford, yeah, he's all in when it comes to Science Bowl here. Tell me about any alternates on your team.
Dudley and my sister Annabelle.
Oh, your sister, yeah. We'll bring them out in just a few moments.
Oh, and Eliora.
Thank you, Philema. Yeah, because I knew there was a third one there. Glad you mentioned that youngster's name. Something about Thomas Stone that's really cool that you like.
It's a really inclusive environment. Like, there's lots of diversity and like in the class. There's like, if you're struggling, the teacher's gonna help you, and it's just a really friendly environment.
Well, you use what great vocabulary: inclusive and diversity and fun. Boy, if school's not fun, you don't want to
fun.
go.
Yeah, definitely fun.
Definitely fun. Nice young man. What do you want to do someday?
I want to be a therapist.
Therapist. Yeah, I can see you doing that. Yeah, you're a good captain here today. You're disciplined. Juan, nice to have you with us today. Why'd you want to be on the show?
Because I want to learn more about science.
Yeah. Are you glad you're here?
Yeah.
We're glad you're here too, and we're glad that we're able to hear some of the things that you know, and you're a good team player over there. What do you do in your spare time?
Study about science and play with my brother.
Your brother, yeah. Younger brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he's looking up to you, you know. You're setting an example for him here today. Good to have you on the show. And Philema, you were here before. Why'd you come back? We're glad you came back, but why'd you come back?
Because I thought learning more science is like good for you, and I got more interested.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to hear that. That's what we hope happens here, that you get turned on to science, and maybe more so than you were before. What do you want to do someday?
Well, I want to be a traveler, a soccer player, and a NASA engineer.
Wow, you got a whole long list there. You got a bucket list there. NASA engineer, but I asked her earlier, would you like to go into space? And she said, no, you're going to take care of things down here, right?
Yeah.
If you work for NASA. All right, let's get back into the game. 80 for Panorama, and 1 under for Thomas Stone. Last correct answer came from Zori. So, Zori, start us out in the second half.
Body systems for 10.
Body for 10. If you're drinking plant-based milks instead of cow's milk, make sure it's one that contains calcium and this lettered vitamin. What vitamin should be in that plant-based milk if you're not drinking real milk? Zori.
Pass it to Daniel.
Daniel. D. That's right. D for Daniel. Good. Go. Red. 10 points off the lead. Go, Zori.
Science potpourri for 15.
Potpourri for 15 points. Multiple choice question. I don't like mosquitoes. One of our judges killed mosquitoes her whole career. If mosquitoes could magically be removed from Earth, nature would soon fill that vacuum with another similar creature that would be the deliverer of deadly diseases like malaria. What term of the following describes creatures that pass along diseases? Are they vectors, liaisons, or lancets? Zori.
Pass it to Daniel. Vectors.
Vectors, yes sir, 2 in a row. You're cooking. Good, go Red. 5-point lead.
Science potpourri for 5.
Potpourri for 5 points. One writer described these reproductive units that plants make by the thousands as baby plants in a box with their lunch. What are they describing that plants make?
Seed.
Seeds, absolutely right. I'm glad you parsed that. Good job, Harrison. Go green.
Zoo parade for 5.
Zoo for 5. If you know the signs of the zodiac, you'll know that a piscivorous bird, Piscivorus, like a pelican, eats these. Zori.
Pass it to Daniel.
Fish, yes, like in Pisces, the zodiac sign. Piscivorous is the adjective that comes from that. All right, 110 to 105. We got a nail biter going here. Go red.
Let's get physical for 5.
Physical, 5 points. Because its molten core is cooling, our moon is actually shrinking. But even though it's getting smaller, what M initial quantity remains unchanged. Panorama.
Pass it to Daniel. Meters.
Again?
Meters.
Not meters. No. What M initial quantity remains the same even though the moon is starting to shrink, Harrison?
Momentum.
Mass. The mass stays the same. Ah, everybody knows it now. All right, you'll get them next time. Go red. Zori.
Dateline science for 10.
Dateline, 10 points. In the 1918 flu epidemic, Americans finally started to believe that it wasn't gases formed in dirty places that caused the flu. No, rather it was these G-initialed organisms. All right, Zori, what do you think those G-initialed organisms are?
Gas.
Not gas, no. Americans decided it wasn't gas in dirty places that caused the flu, but rather these G-initialed organisms, Harrison.
Germs.
Germs, that's right, the germ theory. Good, go green. Got a 5-point lead.
I'm going to do green things 15.
Green 15. Don't overthink this. A flower is a shortened branch with modified leaves called these. Panorama. What you got?
What are they called?
Don't ring in hopes someone has an answer.
Pistol?
There. What's that?
Pistol.
Not pistol. Good try. Thomas Stone, a flower is a shortened branch with modified leaves called these.
Flower leaves.
Petals. Petals. I knew you were going to overthink that. Yeah. Go again, please, green. Harrison, your turn.
Green things for 5.
Green for 5. A well-established grassy front lawn is your best defense against many of these annual troublesome plants that grow up between the blades of grass. What are those plants? Weeds. That's right, Zori. Weeds it is. We got a tie score, 115 all. Go Zori.
Dateline science for 15.
Dateline for 15 points, multiple choice. Astronomers have discovered that there are lightning-like bursts called sprites that occur during thunderstorms in this coldest middle layer of the atmosphere. Is it the troposphere, the ionosphere, or the mesosphere? The middle layer of the atmosphere. Zori.
Pass it to Daniel. Troposphere.
Say it.
Troposphere.
Not the troposphere. No, the troposphere, the ionosphere, or the mesosphere. That coldest layer of the atmosphere where you can see these sprites, these thunderstorms. Harrison, come on.
Pass it to
Come on, Philema.
Honor sphere? Honor sphere?
It's not the ion. It's the one neither of you chose. It was the mesosphere. The mesosphere. Go again, red. Still tied.
Science potpourri for 20.
Potpourri, 20 points. The famed Sphinx in Egypt has the head of a woman, the body of a lion. Was sculpted by this E-initial process caused by blowing wind and sand. Thomas Stone.
Erosion.
Erosion, yes, sir. You got it. Good, go.
Zoo parade for 20.
Zoo, 20 points. Look at the picture. Zoo for 20 is this. Camels that live in cold, dry climates survive winters by eating snow, but not too much. That's because it requires lots of these C-initial food units to generate enough heat. Thomas Stone?
Calories.
Calories, yeah, to melt that snow. You're on a roll. Go.
Body systems for 20.
Body systems for 20 points. All right, come on, Panorama. Let's get back in this one. Let's see if you know your tastes. There are sour notes, sweet dreams, salty language, and these kinds of pills that are tough to swallow. Panorama.
Pass it to Daniel.
Come on.
Chill pills?
What's that?
Chill pills?
No, we're talking taste here. Sour notes, sweet dreams, salty language, and these kinds of pills that are tough to swallow.
Pass it to
Come on,
Philema.
Bitter?
Bitter pills. That's what I want to hear. Good answer. Good go. Green.
Green things for 20.
Green for 20 points. Look at the monitor, please. We have a multiple choice question for you. These cocoa fruits that make chocolate, normally they use just the seeds. But now farmers are using the pulp and the juice. And which of the following E initialed husks to make chocolate? Is the husk called the endocarp, the embryo, or the endoderm? Which of those three, Zori?
Pass it to Daniel.
Dan.
Endodorm?
No, not the endoderm. Is it the endocarp, the embryo, or the endoderm that is the husk?
The endocarp.
It is the endocarp, absolutely right. Yes, endoderm is a layer of skin, and the embryo, of course, is something that is developing into an adult form. Go green.
Dateline for 20.
Dateline, 20 points. All right, if you know your periodic table, you're going to get this one. According to a long-standing policy, the names of the elements on the periodic table are based on a mineral, a mythological creature, a scientist, or a place. Can you name one of those places whose symbols include any of these? Capital C small f, capital A small m, capital T small n. Those are all places. All right, can you pick any of those three?
Capital C small m.
No, you have to tell me what it stands for. It's a place. These are places. Capital C small f, capital A small m, capital T small n. These are all places that chemicals are named for. Panorama, any idea? CF is California, AM is America, TN is Tennessee. Americium, Californium, Tennesseeum. Tough question. Go again, green.
Body systems for 20.
Body, 20 points. I believe we did that one already. Yes? That one's gone. Another one, Harrison.
Let's get physical. Let's get physical for 20.
All right, let's get physical for 20. All right, a basketball, must be constantly dribbled because each time it hits the floor, it loses some of this K initial kind of energy.
Kinetic energy.
Panorama.
Kinetic energy.
Yeah, it is the kinetic energy to heat the floor and to the sound. Good. All right, you're coming back. Go red.
Science potpourri for 25.
Science potpourri for 25.
Potpourri for 25, that'll get you back into the game. This kind of computing is the on-demand delivery of IT resources over the internet. It's where you can store unstructured data. You can store it up there in the what? Harrison?
Cloud.
In the cloud, yes sir. Good, go green. The buzzer has rung and it looks like Thomas Stone has done it. They're on cloud 9 right now. We'll double check that score and come back with you in just a moment. Don't go away. And welcome back. What great teams, what great players. I dare say, I bet you had a tough time keeping up with them. They answered practically everything correctly here. Even the toughest of our questions. That shows how much they're prepared and the kinds of students and youngsters that we have here today. Some of the best in Prince George's County. Our final tally today is Panorama 135, Thomas Stone 220. Thomas Stone, nice round of applause. Congratulations to Philema and Harrison and Juan and Harrison. Would you be good enough to tell us who's standing behind you there?
Okay, so this is my sister Annabelle. This is our coach, Mr. Ford, and this is our alternate, Dudley.
All right, Juan, thank you for helping out there.
There's also Eliora, but he's not here.
Thank you very much. And I know you're proud of your brother over there, too. We got a brother-sister team going on over there. Panorama, nice round of applause for Panorama. They never gave up. They gave it the try at the very end there. Made for a dramatic game here. You guys are terrific. Missouri. Could you tell us who's back there?
We have our first alternate, Brandon, and our second alternate, Darius, and we have our coach, Miss X Casinas, and we have our principal, Dr. Frazier.
Absolutely. Thank you all for being here today. We want to see you back on the Science Bowl. All right, come back and visit us, and I hope you'll tune in again. We'll see you next time. Until then, I'm Mr. Zarin, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.